You know what? Shh. What's up, everybody? It is Friday night, 8 o'clock p.m. I am Killer Cal.
I am Tony Midnight.
And we have a special guest on Friday Night Frights.
Who is it? Yeah.
It's Bill Best.
It's Bill Best.
Bill Best, how you do?
Yeah, man.
How do you do?
Great to be on your show. I love those scary movies. And when I found out you guys were doing this show on Friday nights, man, I just had to drop in. Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, no problem, man.
You're welcome anytime, sir.
Anytime.
Anybody that dated, this is the reason why we brought in Uncle Bill. We had dubbed you Uncle Bill. So why we brought in Uncle Bill is because Uncle Bill has dated somebody that we talked about last week.
Yes.
We did Poltergeist is one of your top five, not top five, but one of
our picks for haunted house movies.
Right.
And there's a little lady in there.
And we mean little.
Little.
Yeah.
Only
that's
sitting
gonna be
at
a question.
4'3".
How tall was she?
She's about 4, around there.
I never measured her, but she came up to about my belt buckle.
Perfect height then.
Perfect height.
Hey, wait, this is PG show, guys. PG.
Hey, you're taking it there.
That's the way it was.
Okay, so that is Auntie Zelda. Since Uncle
Zelda
Bill.
Rubenstein, yeah.
So you dated her, and she's if nobody knows who she is, she's the lady that was on Poltergeist, and she was the psychic who cleaned the house.
Yes.
With the little voice, that high-pitched voice.
Right, nobody can actually mimic it.
Nobody can.
No.
Only her could do it.
It's a unique voice.
Well, that's how I first met her, because back in the day, before the internet in San Francisco, we had party lines, telephone party lines. You had that here.
Well, we had it back.
We had it back in the day.
Younger.
So you dial a number, and a whole bunch of people be on there, and they'd all be talking. And then if you kind of connected up with somebody, you'd get their number or something, or you meet them somewhere.
Wow, you met Auntie Zelda on
old
a
school
party,
old school Tinder.
I know.
Such an amazing voice. I mean, she sounds like an elf,
Yeah.
And I thought, I gotta meet you. And she said, okay. And so I met her at a big department store downtown San Francisco, and I didn't know what she looked like. I didn't know anything about her. And so I heard this voice. I turn around. Where is she? Where is she? Oh.
She looks down.
I had to look, because she was very short.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't use the M word anymore, but she was
LP, little people.
Little person.
Little person.
And I'm not making this up. She drove an MG midget. Honest to goodness.
Wow.
An MG midget.
I don't mean to laugh, but that's just...
That's what she drove, and she lived in an apartment that was designed for a little person. So everything was little. The toilet was little, the stove, the refrigerator. I had to kind of stoop down because it was down a lower part of a house.
Right.
Kind of the basement
How
area.
did she use the bathroom?
Yeah, question is, how long did you date her?
I think it was about 6-8 months or so.
Wow.
For a while,
6-8 months, and you had to squat down.
Well, I just planned my, time ahead of time before I go, because
okay.
Yeah, the bathroom was too small for me.
Yeah.
But
hold on, I'm not ready for the date. I still haven't pooped yet.
You got to plan ahead for these things.
Wait.
Some of the scariest places on Maui are some of the bathrooms. There's one right near here too. I don't want to say where.
We're not going to mention.
Yeah,
Marcos.
that's scary.
Sorry, no, Marcos.
Yeah. So that's how I met her, and that was before Poltergeist. I knew she was doing some, theater stuff.
Yeah.
And we had a real, what she lacked in stature, she made up in enthusiasm, passion, that kind of thing. And she was, she was a doll.
An incredible actress. I've seen many.
She was type role, though. I mean, after Poltergeist, she was type role as.
Well, she found bit parts here and there. I mean, she was in 16 Candles, where she played the organ player.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh really? Yeah. I don't remember that.
She's singing, "Here Comes the Bride," but in that little that voice. You know?
Yeah.
She's singing it like, oh my goodness, that is.
And it was
that Tangina Barron?
But wasn't she stopping every time because the girl kept stopping?
Yeah. And the bride was like all tuned it out on volumes.
Yeah, she was on volumes and she kept rubbing her. Okay, we're getting off topic here. So
Poltergeist.
So right, Poltergeist. So did you actually talk to her after Poltergeist?
No. We broke up, and it was, I was real young. I was still in my late teens, and so and she was looking for something a little more permanent. And it's and I'm feeling my oats, and I want to go out.
Feeling his
share
oats.
my oats with a few others.
Spreading his seeds, if you will.
Sowing my wild oats.
Yes. So
coming to America.
So then I saw Poltergeist, and I was knocked out. That she was in that, and that was one scary movie too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Poltergeist is pretty awesome.
Right up there with The Haunting. To me, The Haunting was original.
You mentioned The Haunting.
I mentioned The Haunting.
I sat in on Bill's show a couple days ago, and we talked about that, right? About like the movies that changed our lives, our first movies we saw, and he was talking about theaters. And since it's about horror, going to a theater, and we're talking about this, going to a theater is not the same.
Yeah,
because like back in the day, going to a movie theater, you go in the experience. He lived in California, right?
San Francisco.
Yeah. And there's that theater where he was explaining that it's a gold leaf with cherubs, and it's like going to church.
Yeah, the old Fox Theater over there. They even had a men's room. You go in, everything marble, and beautiful. In the men's room, there was a huge entrance way, and you could sit, nice comfy couches, and there was a big grandfather clock at the other end. And then you go in. I mean, it's like marble urinals and everything.
Marble urinals. Wow.
Yeah,
this is high maintenance.
Yeah, but
theaters.
it was cheap though. I mean, to go watch a movie back then with like $1 or maybe
50 cents.
50 cents.
Kids.
So, but
fabulous place.
They don't have that now. I mean, I know Queen K is doing that now. Not to promote them, but they're doing it now with their nice little seats. And you're going in with the assigned seating.
Yeah.
But it's still not the same because the pricings and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I found out that because I'm a senior now, I found out that the senior discount 25 cents. That's the big senior discount. Oh, thank you.
Oh, I save a whole 25 cents.
Where's my rocker?
Believe it or not, Bill Best, for his age, I'm not going to mention it unless he allows me to, because he's Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill's 70.
Yeah.
A little over 70. Well, not little over. But he has shared a secret to longevity on his show. No, it was on Larry John's show. The Geronimo medicine dance.
They're genuine. It was Geronimo's own medicine song.
Right. Geron, the great, the Chief Geronimo.
Yeah.
The Native American.
Native American.
Right. Native.
You've heard the yell when people jump out
Geronimo,
of an airplane.
Blah blah blah.
Geronimo.
Right. It's also.
I don't know why.
That needs to be explained. But anyways,
that's off topic.
I'm guessing the actual Geronimo, like to jump off of cliffs or something. That's where it came from.
Well, that's how you scalp people, by jumping off cliffs.
Geronimo, I'm gonna scalp you. Why are we being so racist towards Native Americans?
I'm not being racist, but anyways, so
they don't scalp anymore.
If you were to meet him, you wouldn't guess he's 70, but he has he did the dance on the show, and everybody was like, "What is going on?" I had to ask him what it was, and he told me, because I thought it was Geronimo, a group of some sort, like a 60s, 70s hippie group. But he was like, no, it's Geronimo.
Geronimo's own medicine song. Well, tell me the truth. Ever since I sang that song, you're feeling better?
Yes, I felt good. The headache went away. I came to the show with a headache, and I was like, hey, it's gone. But anyways, theaters now.
Healing going on there.
My head is clean.
Hey, it is clean.
No, but the experience in the theaters are not the same. Everything is on DVD. You can get on Netflix or Hulu.
I wish I had the opportunity to go to a theater back in those days. drive-ins. Drive-ins is where a lot of the horror movies were shown back in old days. You know, like
drive-ins were the best.
Yeah.
And we were talking about where the drive-in was over here. Was at
MCC.
UHMC now. I mean, it's that parking lot where they have it.
And
is where it was. And I watched, I forget what the one with the little baby creature guys that eat people. The famous scene is the milkman scene where he's going to get a milk and they attacks him and all you see is milk falling out and it's...
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark?
No, it's like They Live. It's not They Live, but It Lives or something like that.
It Lives. The little baby?
Yeah, the little baby. So I saw that in a drive-in with my auntie and my uncle, my cousins on a van. We got to sit on a van, so on the top. And if you're too afraid, you can go into the van and kind of hide. But I was more afraid of getting on top of the van, so the doors are wide open in the back, and you get to watch it.
Yeah.
But that was the experience because you get to see other people react and you watch people making out. That was funny. Oh, look at that, they're kissing.
Why is the window so fogged up?
What's that man doing with that girl?
What's going on in there?
Auntie, what is that? That looks like a boob. A boob. Anyways, so going to the theater now is really, really just not the same.
Yeah.
And all the horror movies coming out, I know there's a bunch coming out.
There's a whole bunch. I'm like, I'm not really.
I want to go watch it in a theater, but the problem is, it costs too much, and it's not the same experience.
Yeah.
Right?
Why can't they have like a retro day where all the movies are like $1?
Right, like a super matinee thing. You bring back old movies.
And all the candy and the popcorn and the hot dogs, they're 25 cents.
They'll lose money.
They'd lose money.
They would super lose
big
money.
time.
$5 for milk duds now.
I know.
Ooh.
How much was it? I forgot the price.
The same milk duds is available for $1 at your local department store.
Right, you gotta go to one of the famous.
One of those famous big, one of those conglomerate stores that
and go purchase some candy.
That starts with a W,
ends with a Mart.
Starts with a W, ends with a Mart.
Or Greens.
Or Green. Oh yeah,
right. W with the Greens, or even what you call.
Or
that new French place called Target that just opened up.
Oh yeah.
Target.
A what?
They're open.
The French place, Target.
They're open until 11 o'clock, I think. Something.
Target. You never been to Target?
Target.
Yeah, Target. It's a big thing with a red circle. With
It's a French store.
Target.
Target is another way to pronounce it.
You get Target.
Oh, Target.
I wasn't trying not to
He's an international man.
A lot of international.
Now I understand you.
The international.
I'm not trying to promote places, but Target was
Target is a very nice place.
So you have to purchase candy there and go into the theater and sneak it in.
Yeah.
And
that's easy to do though.
Right, but the ushers, I noticed at the Queen K theater, they're very kind of on it. Like they go and walk up and down the aisle and they'll check if you're eating something.
Having a Mickey D.
Oh my God.
Delight or something.
Like, here's a burger. I'm gonna eat a burger. Oh, you're out.
Cans of beer. You can hear them popping.
I asked a friend that worked there. He just recently got let go because he let his friend. They would buy the tickets and whatever, but they let his friends bring in food. So he and all this kind of stuff. He got let go. I said, why wouldn't they just let that go? Because we're already spending.
Yeah.
A ton of money to get in.
Yeah.
That's way more than the price of any film. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to be like, I want to go and enjoy a film at my local theater.
Right.
And, at the same time, I want to have a plate lunch from the Chinese restaurant.
Right.
Yeah, LNL.
Why can't we do that?
Why can't I bring in some wonton? Come on.
So, yeah, it's like I said, it's not the same experience. The theaters are, it's not as nice as before. Like the old Kalamanu shopping center, the old Queen K. What was known as Kalamanu back in the day. The theater.
Or the old school King's Theater in Wailuku back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
My father tells me stories about that place.
Where was that located?
What is that by the bowling alley?
Yeah.
By the bowling alley over there, and he saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre over there. He saw all types of kung fu movies.
Yeah.
Right.
Naughty movies.
And then and then late night all the tatas are in there watching the one of those,
The Triple X movies.
Yeah,
Behind the green door kind of movies.
oh my God! Please do bring up Behind the Green Door. No.
Michael McCartney, who was also on the shows, he was talking about because he's from Maui, so he knows like Lahaina had a theater like that.
The Queen.
Yeah.
So he was telling about it during the week back in the day because we never got movies the same time as the mainland people. Mainland would get their movies the day it was like on a Tuesday, Thursday, whatever it's released, and we would have to wait 2, 3, 4 months later.
Sometimes, yeah.
Right, get the movie. I don't know if you remember that. Like we're like, oh, what's movie coming out? Oh, I want to see.
I was born in
Escape from LA.
I was born in '81, so I was a baby then.
But you could go to Oahu and see some of the. So we used to go over to Oahu. I remember we went to see Alien. Had to see an Alien 2. Had to go to Oahu because they had that big.
Oh yeah, the big.
Great sound.
And they would get it on the day it was released.
Was this the one near Dae back in the days? There's a theater over there. It's called Don Quixote now.
Yeah, it's called Don Quixote.
Yeah. But there was a theater I went, and this is like my first theater experience, and it's big, huge. Well, at the time I was like 6 years old, so it was big to me. But it's a one screen theater, and we watched Predator.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, my uncle is like.
I was born there but raised here, so all the theater experiences I had was Kalamanu and the old Maui Theater, which is now a church.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Let's watch a movie.
We used to watch horror movies in here.
Well, they should have shown some Jesus movies because this past year there were 3 or 4 that all came out.
Was there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Noah and.
Noah with
Noah, but
Gods and something other with Batman.
There was like a Heaven is Real, I think, or something like that, and something about Jesus. And,
as I say, brains.
Jesus, maybe like put something like all of a sudden because we're talking about horror movies, like the scene from Family Guy, the first Christmas episode, is like everybody knows that Christmas is the day that Jesus rises from the grave and eats the flesh of the living.
I don't remember that.
We should. Remember we were talking about zombies. Our first show was about zombies. Is Jesus the first zombie?
He was resurrected and he was flying up.
My favorite zombie movie.
Oh my goodness.
Return of the Living Dead.
You're not.
You have VHS.
Yeah.
He also has Betamax.
I have betas too.
You have betas. You have this guy. We gotta check out this guy's collection.
I've got laser discs.
We got laser discs.
Oh my goodness. Lahaina Video and TV located in Lahaina Shopping Center. Be kind.
Rewind. Oh my Lord.
You remember those days, man?
Return of the Living Dead, though. For me, that was the best one outside of the very first.
This is awesome.
Redheaded zombie chick dancing naked in the street. Yes, sir.
And funny,
oh my goodness.
The half dog that's when they're in
the corpse. Remember?
Yeah. When everybody started getting reanimated from the gas.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite flicks.
That is one of my favorite flicks of all time.
I was is that a zombie movie? You ain't gonna get that back now, Bill.
And here's the deal. Here's the deal about this. Return of the Living Dead. Everybody's like, oh, I love running zombies. Hello, back in the 80s, this movie was the first running zombie film.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
They ran.
Right.
Nobody could escape.
They attacked with no remorse.
No remorse.
I got another one for you.
Look, this is the movie I was telling you about. You should watch Dead Alive.
Oh,
Dead Alive.
I think I watched that.
The goriest film. We used to have a group of us who watched beta movies all the time.
Oh my goodness.
We had a friend who had a lot of betas, and we would get to every once in a while we would have a little movie festival, and sometimes we'd have what we call a sleaze fest. We watch really, really horrible horror films.
Horrible B, C class.
When I put this one on, maybe I shouldn't have served spaghetti and meatballs or whatever. This one separated the kids from the adults because people left. This Dead or Alive was truly grotesque.
Yeah, the I kick ass with a Lord.
That's the one. That's the one.
I was like, what? First time I saw this movie, I was like, I knew it was a zombie film, but I didn't know how it was gonna be. The zombie outbreak was gonna happen, and this little Sumatran rat monkey bites the mom.
It's the one, the rat monkey guy.
And then the mom starts getting all, you know, you got bodily fluids shooting out into puddings.
Oh, it's horrible.
The back pictures are pretty grotesque. Where you know how they do the promo pictures in the back?
Yeah.
If you look at it, if you guys ever saw the promo covers back in the day, nowadays they show little clips or maybe one shot of a scene
on the Blu-ray disc cover and stuff.
Right. If you look in the back, and it's one scene. This one shows.
This one shows everything.
Gory scenes.
This is the priest.
Yeah.
Right.
He gets impaled on a statue. Then this is when the party scene happens. Right
the
here.
hand through the mouth.
Right
oh my goodness.
And then this guy's rib cage is getting ripped out. You know, they're all hungry. They have to eat.
I just want some spaghetti and meatballs.
Spaghetti and meatballs and some, you know, some ribs. Some ribs.
Can I get a rib?
And this one, Return of the Living Dead, there's that one scene where the zombies attack and they're killing people, and then the cops show up and they kill the cops, and then one zombie gets on the cops
the CB
microphone.
Right.
Send more cops.
Yeah. That was good.
That was good.
You should be a zombie for Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, right. I'm already old.
Back to Lahaina again. Yeah. Done that, been there.
Front Street. You must have went to Front Street during Halloween when it was prime.
Well, I used to cover the Front Street thing because we had a TV show on West Maui Cable, and from 8 until midnight every night I did all the movies and all the stuff that that we would show. And incidentally, on Betamax, we were showing everything on Betamax.
Oh, Lord.
So we covered Halloween in Lahaina every year for those early days, and we were out there and with our cameras and everything. And it was a lot of fun.
This was way before it was called the Mardi Gras of the Pacific.
Yeah, it was just in the earlier days. People were going crazy with their costumes and everything, and there were more people in costumes than there were people standing around watching.
Right. Back in the day, the costumes were cool. Not like this whole let me put a tape over the nipple and boom.
Right, I got a costume.
Happy Halloween.
There were a lot of pregnant nuns in the crowd. That was a cheap costume. You could get a nun outfit and you could do other things with it.
A little nunsploitation going on in the streets.
My Jewish stepdad came over from the mainland and he was here for Halloween, and we had him put on the nun outfit.
Oh my goodness!
And he walked around. He had a ruler, and he would go around scolding people who were like improperly dressed, or
my goodness,
were they being spanked?
Got into really got into the character.
Yeah, I went to Lahaina like 2 or 3 years in a row, and it got boring pretty quick.
Yeah, it gets kind of monotonous.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
I went.
This is the 2000s. It's like, oh my goodness, how much women I'm gonna see with their boobies out and all that stuff. I'm like,
really? I know you didn't do that. I know you were like, oh, boobs.
I did take some pics.
Take a picture with me, please.
Yeah, he's probably one of the guys who, for a costume, would put a Budweiser box on his head.
Did you? No. Like 1 year, I was a demon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had a fake barbed wire thing around my neck, and I put blood dripping down from it, and I had like these weird looking demon teeth, and I had blood dripping down from the teeth.
So you got into it.
I got into
it. He's Halloween incarnate. Every Halloween,
really,
his house is decorated.
You do the house thing.
We have a boneyard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He'll. It's pretty. We're thinking about trying to do a haunted house.
I got to get that address. Check it out.
It's right up the street from his house.
Yeah, right from we can walk to his house. The best costume I've ever seen. I didn't go that year, but my friend Glenn, who does tattoos and airbrushes, and back then he was the airbrush guy at Kalamanu.
Yeah.
He airbrushed Girls Gone Wild on a shirt, and had a video camera. And flash photography camera too. So he would go around and show the shirt, and girls would be flashing him.
Oh my goodness!
And they're like, "Is it gonna be on?" He's like, "Yeah, we gotta go through all the footage." But he went up and down and took thousands of pictures of girls' boobs.
Naughty.
Why didn't I think of that?
But that's like when the Girls Gone Wild was big.
Yeah,
and he went, and that's right at the edge of Lahaina, Front Street. Halloween night was going to be the Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
It was right at that edge. Girls Gone Wild was big, and all the girls were decently semi-dressed. But he's over there like, "Hey, how you doing? Girls Gone Wild. All right." Flash a boob, take a pic, or take a video, take a pic with him. It was really, he got some really naughty pics.
Here's the thing. What's so Halloween about that?
It's funny. Don't you think that's hilarious? Because he went and exploited the fact that he did that on purpose. He did that on purpose for one reason. Well, two reasons. One, he's a perv.
Yeah, well,
shout out to Glenn.
That's the main reason.
But the other reason was because he knew that that's in the dressing of costumes were getting really scantily, was really like very exposed.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Dude, this is not Halloween. He's all about Halloween too." And he just had a kid too, and he was like, "This is weird. I'm gonna exploit this." So he called me up and said, "Hey, guess what I'm gonna do?" He showed me a pic of the shirt. I'm like, "No, you're not gonna do it." And he did it. He showed me a portfolio of photos.
Oh my gosh!
From
my
that night.
goodness!
And some of the costumes, some of the girls that he took pictures of, he didn't eat. They didn't need. They were already. They were
already
naked.
there. Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, flash me your boob," and they just take the Band-Aid off. There you go.
Oh my god!
So like he was like, "So don't that make you sick?" Like, I mean, like, for real. This is Halloween.
Yeah.
What's Halloween about going and
We could start a whole show about Halloween.
Well, what you're talking about really had a lot to do with the people trying to shut it down.
Right, because it was getting really naughty.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why people were standing around, because they weren't there to celebrate Halloween or help the people, the businesses on Front Street, because that's what it was for. It was to get attract more people down there and get the clientele for the different restaurants, different nightclubs, to spend the money.
Yeah.
But you guys standing in the front, like in front of these businesses, looking at these girls that's half naked.
Yeah.
I went down there back in 92, 93.
Okay.
And I went as a pimp. I had a trench coat, tie. I didn't look like a pimp. I looked more like Columbo, actually, tell you the truth.
Columbo.
But I had my cousin and her friend, and they were supposed to have been my hoes. But they were supposed to be my hoes. But they didn't dress like hoe. They just really looked like hip hop girls. So here we're walking down. I'm like trying to act like a pimp.
Hip hop divas.
Right. So here they're asking me, "Hey, why is Columbo with these hip hop chicks?" Like, I'm not Columbo. I'm the pimp. It's not working. All right.
It's not working at all.
But anyways, yeah. So
yeah, it's like, what's going on here?
Halloween, which is around the corner, by the way.
Yes.
Is
I'm
any
pretty
plans
sure
of going to Front Street?
Who,
Bill?
me?
No, Uncle Bill.
Probably not. No, I did it when it was really exciting, and it could be exciting again. But been that
It's
done there.
exciting for a lot of men over there.
Oh yeah.
It's exciting for a lot
Can we
of
say
men.
bonerific?
Well, I think you planted
Did I
a
just do that?
few seeds in a few people's minds. Girls run wild.
Hey,
I think I'm gonna do that.
But I think right now where Halloween is really alive still. It's in the haunted houses in the mainland.
Oh yeah.
Universal Studios, they have the Halloween Horror Nights.
Right.
Studios. That's Halloween.
Right. We don't have too much haunted houses here. We used to.
Is there like a one street on Maui, maybe Makawao somewhere where they really do it up? They do it at Christmas time. Your place.
Our area is actually pretty done up. His house is done up. There's some mini haunted houses that people put in the garage and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was one street right above where you live that it's a cul-de-sac, and two corners, in fact, was really just done up. Everything was just done up with you gotta and they have somebody dressed up every year, and you don't know which one is. They had mannequins and stuff, so you like, which one is it? And you had to send your kid. Parents have to stand at a certain point, and you send your kid to go get it, and if they pass the scare, they could get a candy.
Okay.
So it's like,
that's cool.
They didn't do it to like really freak the kids. They would just move and
I had my cousin Brandon do that. He was a devil last year.
I did that with the faceless mask. I sat in a chair, but I propped up a doll, not a doll, but I made like a stuffed thing.
Yeah.
And we sat them in a chair. So for a while, kids are coming grabbing candy, and then we did it on it. The reason why we did it was because there was repeat kids.
Sure.
They'd go change the mask and come back. One more candy.
Yeah.
So I would, so like maybe an hour or so.
Those darn kids.
Those darn children. Candy's rotten to your teeth. Did you not know these things, kids? Anyways, I changed out my stuff thing and sat in the chair, and the candy bowl was right next to me on the table, and the wife and everybody else is sitting around, and they're like, "Oh, come grab the candy," and they'd be like, "Oh, that's just the stuff guy," not realizing where's the fat man that was standing there earlier. It's like, and then you go to grab the candy, I grab their hand, and they run away.
That's Halloween right there. That's Halloween.
That's true Halloween.
Where's the best place to go on Halloween to get the candy?
To get the candy would
Maui
be
Meadows,
all the
Kula,
Kaului. What is that place? Mawilani.
Because
Mawilani.
Yeah, the gated community is pretty good.
Parents
Mawilani.
load up the van and come on, we got to go up to what neighborhood?
Mawilani would be the one I would say. Mawilani.
I think everybody in Kahului goes to the mall now.
Well, they do that first. The little kids, they'll do that, but the little bit older kids that still trick or treat.
Yeah.
Before high school kind of trick or treating, they go to Mawilani because it's a gated community and everybody and that whole place is done up. Like almost every house.
Oh
is done.
yeah, all right.
It's really good. Like,
they buy their candy bars from Costco.
Ooh, you actually get a candy bar, not like one of those little mini.
Yeah, not
things.
the minis. You get a bar, and we're not. No, and you think you're joking? That's for real. You get a candy, and they'll give parents candies too. Oh, does your dad want one?
Wow.
I went one year with my nieces and nephews and my kids, and we went to Mawilani. And I was like, oh, God, this is the rich do people. But there's actually cool local people there, too. And you're like, oh, brother, you like one candy bar? I was like, one candy bar? Where did you get this from? Can I live with you?
Hey, I got another movie for you.
Oh, okay.
What you got here?
Are you giving this to us? Thanks.
No.
I'm just kidding.
This is part of my collection.
Wait, what is it?
Reanimator and From Beyond.
From Beyond.
Those two.
We gotta do like a whole hour about Lovecraft.
Lovecraft.
I love Lovecraft movies.
Have you ever read Lovecraft? That's a difficult read. Amazingly difficult read.
I
would like insane, please, because I heard that you can go insane and read
I've
Lovecraft.
read Call of Cthulhu.
That's your favorite.
Cthulhu's my favorite.
Cthulhu? How do you pronounce it?
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. Oh, okay.
It's
I
weird
never knew.
spelling.
It's spelled weird,
It
but
is.
it's Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
Or if you're a Metallica fan, Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
Call of Cthulhu.
So Reanimator and From Beyond, I recommend those if you're really into.
And Reanimator's on Netflix, by the way. I just found out.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
From
if you
Beyond, this movie is so crazy. It's basically like they're basically messing around with the idea of they're opening these gates to different dimensions, but the worst thing comes out of these gates and it's possessed this guy. He's all messed up. He's all tunted, and the other guy, this scene right here, he's got this thing coming out of his head, and he has to eat human brains.
Oh.
In order to sustain his energy.
Right.
Really horrible.
See, back then, this is when horror movies was horror movies.
Yeah.
Practical stuff. Why is Shaggy talking? Shaggy, you need to be quiet back there. Answer the phone, Shaggy.
That's his robot.
It's a robot Shaggy.
It's a Shaggy robot.
It's a drone.
Shaggy drone.
But
He shut himself up.
He deactivated the drone. He saved our lives. The bomb is now disconnected. No, but and we were talking about that. This is when This is when movies were movies. I mean, movies are cool now, the CGI effects, and some guys are still using practicals. And you got to kind of watch the real B-rated stuff on Sci-Fi or Chiller to really appreciate horror movies.
I love B-rated horror films.
I mean, that's
The
because that's where it's
low-budget
at.
stuff, the indie horror,
budget.
yeah.
Love 'em.
That's where it's at, because that's all the people that were doing this, the practical effects, are now in doing B-rated stuff because they CGI and all that computer stuff is.
Hello, did a lie. Peter Jackson, what's he doing now?
CGI stuff.
No, not really. I mean, you take a look at it. That ogre army, they're all practical.
Oh, there are people in makeup.
In makeup and
Incredible.
masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like maybe how many ogre people were in there? Live ogre people.
Wasn't it a whole army?
Not a whole army.
There were
I
like
could take-
6, and then they duplicated them.
It's like they're like 20. I think they were
20 and they duplicated
physical, and
it.
they duplicated. They did the same thing they did with 300. They took 20 or so.
So
and
there
they
wasn't
just-
actually 300 men then.
No,
There were
There was
3,
like-
just
there were like
3.
three, and they
There's
just kept
3,
multiplying.
and then they kept multiplying. And it's 100.
Yeah, so like back then, this is why people need to appreciate horror movies from the 80s, 70s, 80s. Well, let's go back 60s, 70s, 80s, and some of the 90s when it was practical. When everything was practical, the makeup artists, the makeup like Sci-Fi, they brought that back with the whole face-off competition. I like that.
I mean, you gotta take it back all. If you want to take it all the way back, you gotta mention Lon Chaney because he's the original guy.
Oh yeah.
He
That's
brought
right.
his makeup kit to every movie set.
He did
and
his own makeup.
He did his own makeup.
Yeah. The man of 1,000 faces.
Man of 1,000 faces.
He was the first Phantom, right?
If it wasn't, he was the first Phantom of the Opera. He was
Dr. Jekyll.
Hunchback of Notre Dame,
Hunchback and
Hunchback.
Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah.
That's right, Dr. Jekyll, Mr.
and he
Hyde.
did all that himself.
Yeah.
How amazing!
But he
is
also
that?
could do that without the makeup. He had this thing about contortioning his face to make the face like he and that's how he added his makeup. Was like, I'm gonna make my face this way. There was a documentary on him. He did a facial expression and then he would add the makeup to it.
Yeah.
To make that facial
amazing.
thing.
Amazing
Yeah,
work.
so that's the way he got the dub of Man of 1,000 Faces. 'cause
That was
he
the
could
guy.
actually
That was the
make-
guy that put practical makeup and all that stuff on the map.
Right.
If
Now,
it
what
wasn't
about
for him, there wouldn't be all these other guys.
what about Nosferatu? That actor actually looked like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they only
The
added
original.
pointed
Matt
ears.
Shrek. This is his
Matt-
name. Yeah,
yeah.
Matt Shrek.
They
That's
only
right.
added what, pointy ears, some teeth. and-
Yeah, there, you see the Willem Dafoe movie where they actually they think the story is like he actually was a vampire.
And they thought, and they just added him in.
They just
Oh,
added
yeah.
him in.
That's crazy.
I saw it in theaters. I was working in the theater when Shadow of the Vampire came out, and I was
Shadow of the Vampire.
like,
right.
that's a cool
Concept?
idea, concept for the story. It's like there was an actual vampire.
I got another early one for you.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy,
Freaks. Todd Browning's Freaks on VHS.
Last,
my
the
goodness.
last season,
Uh-oh.
Season
Brainstorm,
4?
brainstorm.
season 4 of American Horror Story was based off of this season.
That's right. I never saw that
Yeah,
series.
the name of the last season's show was Freak Show.
Right, the Freak Show, right?
Yeah, and there's an actual scene in this movie where the bird lady thing
Right.
was used.
Oh, really?
On
Yeah.
the,
in the TV series?
yeah.
Can you remember what they were saying? They were
Gooba
chanting.
Gaba, Gooba Gaba, we accept you, one of us. And then the
Was that
Ramones,
the chant?
This
to get
guy's
into the club?
brilliant.
and then the Ramones came out in the 70s, and it was like Gaba Gaba, hey, Pinhead.
Pinhead. Yeah.
You gotta be a punk music lover to know that.
Right. And here I'm wearing a Punk You Down shirt.
And I love the Ramones because they, not only did they got some for that song, the Freaks, Todd Browning's Freaks, they got for that song, but they also did the soundtrack for Pet Sematary.
That's right. That's right. They did. Oh, that's another classic. We need.
Yeah, it sure is.
But yeah, this is a great film.
Freaks.
I love this film.
Todd Browning's Freaks.
It's actual
Freaks from the
sideshow,
Freaks,
yeah,
right?
actual people.
They were,
they-
yeah,
Except for the
actual.
bird lady.
You know,
thing.
there was a controversy behind that movie because people were kind of upset that they were exploiting
The freaks.
The freaks, right?
freaks,
like,
the
well, because they're not.
The performers.
They were performers.
And half of these guys were the little people in this film. They were in the Wizard of Oz.
Well, there was the one guy too who had no arms and could roll a cigarette and smoke it with his feet.
He actually came to my dad saw that guy on Maui.
Really?
Back in the day, they had the carnival movie here. They had a sideshow attraction.
Man.
They did that like 3 years.
During
our time, I mean.
I think he was Haitian or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And he rolled the cigarette in his mouth, and he put it up his mouth, and he lit it and everything. And that's something my dad's memorable to him because he never seen anything like that.
You need to bring your dad on the show.
Yeah. But these guys would never be able to make a living if it hadn't been for the sideshows.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were shunned by many people, but then when they're in the sideshows, they're admired and they have a position, so on and so forth.
If they had lived to this day, they would be more accepted now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're more open-minded society now.
Well, there's that. Was it Venice Beach sideshow place?
Yeah,
they
had a
made
reality show. They had a reality show about that freak show, AMC freak show.
Right. It was pretty cool. I thought it was interesting.
It's awesome stuff, man. These people are they're amazing people. They're just a little different. So what?
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're normal.
I love the different people.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the same old people all the time.
I'm tired of the same
See a
people.
lot of clones walking around these days.
You give me a lady that has piercings all over her face and she can swallow a sword. Oh my God.
That's the girl for you. Huh?
That's the girl for me.
Oh, so I'll find one for you.
Are you married or what?
I'm not.
He's available, girls.
I'm available.
He's available.
All those pierced ladies, please come see
All
Tony
those
Midnight.
pierced ladies with tattoos all over your face. Oh my God. And if you can swallow a sword, boom.
Just a swallow sword thing, huh?
Although the swallowing sword thing wouldn't be,
Okay, let's not go there.
I beg your
Let's not
pardon?
go there, sir.
What are you trying to
He's trying to imply sword thingy.
I don't have a sword.
He has a dagger, is what he's trying to say.
Like I have
You have a half a dagger?
I have a Swiss Army knife.
No, you did not go there. He does not. It's not like I've seen it, but no, he does not.
With a can opener.
Oh my goodness.
Only the can opener is working. The knife is dull.
One of the old knives that's all rusty. The only thing you can pull out is the can opener.
Yeah. One of those deals.
Anyway, so Bill, since we had a topic, but you have this plethora of movies. What is your favorite all-time horror movie? One that you watch over and over again in your Betamax.
You never get tired of.
I don't know, horror. The original War of the Worlds. I know I saw that 13
It can be
times.
considered horror.
Yeah.
Horror sci-fi.
Yeah.
Well,
It was at the time was the most horrific lie ever.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Orson Welles did that whole radio show thing, and everybody was like, "Oh no, the aliens are attacking! Watch out for the Greys."
I play that on Halloween every so often. The original. I had contemporary music.
Yeah.
Scary.
So that was a good segue into what our topic was today. We watched a movie called
Extraterrestrial.
Extra Tourette's.
I'm trying.
That would be scary.
It's a very big word. Okay.
Extraterrestrial.
Extraterrestrial.
And it was by the.
This is directed by the Vicious Brothers, and they made a name for themselves in the indie horror world because of this. These two films called Grave Encounters, and it's found footage. I mean, if you've seen Blair Witch. This is it's a step up from Blair Witch because they like to incorporate CGI with practical stuff. And the first one was really, oh my goodness, it's a really good scary flick. It's found footage. So if you have a,
we had our own opinions about on our Tear in the Aisle show we do on YouTube. We had our own opinions about found footage movies. It's gotta be really done
paranormal activity and all sorts. But the Vicious Brothers came out with the movie Extraterrestrial. And
it was shot well done.
Yeah,
it's not found footage, mind you.
There is found footage here and there.
Yeah, very tiny.
Very tiny.
Little hint of it.
But the whole story about extraterrestrial is, you got your basic kids going out to the mountains. You know, you got the family cabin.
Well, the first scene. Let's bring it down back.
That is the most common storyline.
The kids.
A group of kids go to a cabin.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. But the first scene, it doesn't go to there. The first scene is the girl wants to get help. She's like, help me at a gas station. And then there's an old telephone booth in the front. And the gas attendant's like, whatever. And she goes to the telephone booth, and all of a sudden, it flash a light, and she's gone.
And the booth is
gone.
Disappear.
And then the guy walks out to investigate, like, what's going on? And then the telephone booth drops.
It drops.
Yeah, I saw that.
Shatter.
Yeah, so it shatters. And then the cop comes in to investigate. They go, you know, and then it turns into the typical kids
in the cabin. Yeah. They got alcohol. They got marijuana.
They always
They're having a good time.
Yeah, having too much fun. Sex.
Too much. What is that
Sex.
called? Wacky weed or that sticky icky.
Paca
make you Lolo.
Yeah, you just know who's gonna die next. You know, it's so obvious.
It was, you know, it did play off on the classic. Like who's gonna die.
Yeah.
You got to it.
You got characters in there. It's like, I hope something bad happens to this person.
You just want him to die.
Yeah.
Right.
Michael Ironside is in the movie, and he's.
I don't know if you know who Michael Ironside is.
Have you seen Scanners?
Oh, Scanners, sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
The guy that made the other scanner.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Blow up.
Okay,
that guy.
He's in this movie.
He's in this movie, and he plays that militant backwoods conspiracy theorist
who has weed in his.
Yeah, he's got a little tent of hydroponics growing and stuff. Yeah.
Kind of a
like,
Woody Harrelson kind of character.
Right.
Woody Harrelson kind of character.
So he plays that whole conspiracy theory nut job, and it was kind of knows the main character girl.
Yeah. Because
back in the day.
Yeah, she's like, I'm at my summer home. It's like, I know you. You never me. Hey, how's it going?
Uncle. Yeah. So we was calling him Uncle. He's just a family friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's there. I mean, it's just gonna be a shoot 'em up.
He knows everything.
Badass kind of movie. But it was.
And he's talking about. I see red flashes in the sky and stuff like that. You know. And then they buy some weed from him.
And they go back and party. And then the story starts off on they have the typical boyfriend girlfriend fight thingy, and I hate your guts and blah blah blah, and they go and split.
And then it goes all like Cloverfield all of a sudden.
And that's where the found footage stuff.
Yeah, that's where the found footage stuff. They grab the camera. It's like, what's going on?
Do you know what we mean by found footage?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like an explosion in the forest and
looks
all
like an
that.
asteroid hit.
Yeah.
And you're like, they come to find out it's a spaceship. We don't want to spoil this movie because it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
But
extraterrestrial
by the Vicious Brother.
But the whole thing, I had a friend watch it because she was asking, what are you guys going to talk about this? I was like, we're going to talk about extraterrestrial. I got to go watch it. And she's like, okay, well, I want to know what you guys are talking about, so I'll go watch it. And her comments, she messaged me immediately, worst scream ever, because she was screaming.
Oh my goodness.
It's not grotesque. Like, there's just that one scene with the two cops.
Yeah, the cops.
We're not going to get into it because we don't want to spoil it. But it was.
I just gotta say a little bit of MK Ultra mind control going on.
It was
what's going on.
You're like, wow, the lead. Do you think he's the lead hero?
Yeah.
They threw so much curves in this movie. Like, you think
twists and turns, man. It's just twists and turns.
Right. You think Ironside is going to be like the main hero, savior guy? Yeah. No. And then you think the cop guy that loses his wife, something, no. he does not come back at all. There's no way he's coming back from what happened to him.
Yeah. Now what the thing that happened to the typical blonde character? Remember what happened there? This is where I mean, I don't know if anybody is familiar with a little film called Fire in the Sky, which is based on a true story.
Sure, yeah.
But that scene where the blonde's getting out of the car, I was like, okay, this is a typical dumb blonde thing going on right now.
Right.
She's looking at the thing, and then all of a sudden, boom. levitation going all the way up.
And then boom, gone.
And I like the.
But that was the only time you ever see slow like you know how they typically show people getting
Abducted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
right.
During this movie, the abductions are like flashes, like flash a light and boom, loud noise, and boom, they're gone.
No, I'd rather see people floating up in the sky.
when
It's more
she
exciting.
comes out,
This is completely
she
like,
levitates.
really torn from fire in the sky. Even the red lighting of the UFO. Yeah, how do you like highlight, dude? That's the best effect right there.
And it wasn't made. You could tell it wasn't made. I mean, the CGI for the Greys and for the
UFOs
were probably the most they had to spend on stuff. Everything else is practical.
No.
That's the way I like it.
The hive scene.
Well, yeah, I mean that.
Yeah,
but
I think I'm pretty sure the whole thing was done on a sound stage. All that was all brought up on CGI computer.
Right. But I'm just talking about like the cabin scene, like the way they made the effects of the sound.
Yeah,
they
got
just
the
use
lights coming in through.
Yeah, they just use lights.
Like Close Encounter
and the way
of
they
the Third
made
Kind.
the board, exactly.
Yeah.
Close
Yeah.
Encounter. But they boarded up the house, like they were trying to keep the Greys out.
Like Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, they boarded it up in a certain way, so when the light hits, it just beamed at angles that was like, and
That's
it come pan across.
perfect.
Yeah, it was like,
That's perfect.
Yeah.
You got the light shining through. It's got that beam going on over there.
Right.
And then you just watching this thing. You watching these kids just go kaput.
Nuts. Yeah.
One big they get picked off one by one.
One by one, like a slasher flick.
But the alien, they're the typical looking Greys.
Yeah.
Like you know the big bug eyes. And the, but they're. the Greys are actually friendly and anal probing and blah blah blah. No, these guys are vicious. They're
vicious.
They were vicious, and there was a AP scene. I didn't want to say it again.
P scene.
AP anal probe scene that was in there.
I thought you were
Shaggy
talking about.
yelling.
I thought you were talking about
right?
pee. I thought you were talking about urine.
No, not
Like, there's a pee scene where somebody's peeing.
letter A, and letter P. Remember where the guy that
Occult probe.
probe.
Okay.
So there was a guy that you really wanted to.
Yeah, there's got to be one character where you're like,
just
I
wanna-
hope something bad happens.
You just
to
want
him.
to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
And then it happens to him. So, but the way it did it was very like
It's like
they mislead you. Like you're like, okay, they did this.
there's
and they're doing
suspense
this.
to it. There's suspense, and then when you get to that part, you're like,
Oh, that's just so wrong. That is so wrong.
close your eyes.
And it's coming too because they did the thing to him, right? So he's facing the machine, and then they stop, and you think, okay, that's it, and it slowly turns, and you just see this opening in the back. You're like, oh no, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
And
And it happens.
And
I'm like, oh,
this thing comes on and this bzzz, and like, oh, it's going to happen, and they do it really slow, and then
Really
boom,
slow.
done. So it was he got it in the end, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
But yeah, and then they threw the whole curve. These guys, they threw so much curves at you with the ending.
Yeah.
With the ending,
The ending part.
So
And if there's X-Files fans out there listening, X-Files fans, the ending is so.
you used to watch X-Files?
Oh yeah.
Remember Mr. Cancer, Mr. Stiglitz?
Sure. Yeah. All the time with
So
the
they
cigarette.
kind of did a tribute.
A little tribute, a little homage to X-Files.
The
in that
smoking
scene.
man seems to be kind of a little theme that runs through various. There's a smoking man in a video game, a major video game. You guys do video games at all?
You talking about Slenderman?
Well, no.
Slenderman was from we talked about that. That's actually from Tall Man from
from
Tall Man.
Phantasm.
No, it's
Phantasm. Right? No, every character, every video game that has an antagonist has a smoking guy.
A smoking guy.
That's how you know he's going to be the. I hate to use the word prick, but he's going to be a jerk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So but this one he doesn't show up until the end.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah.
You're like,
On the movie.
no.
As soon as you see them, you're like, okay, well, the government's taking care of everything now.
Well, and you get the switcheroo before that. They let the two lovebirds go, so they pick off everybody, right? Mm-hmm. And they pick up the boyfriend, and then the main chick gets taken last. So you're like, oh, okay, she's gonna go and save Ironside's gonna come back, and then it's like, guess that's what I saw. But then Ironside doesn't come back.
No.
She finds the boyfriend. So the boyfriend then the Greys come and blah blah blah, and then you think, oh look, it's a happy ending. Oh, and then they go and there's the government and they get shot.
Was Evil Dead a happy ending?
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. What are you talking about here?
It was a happy ending.
Almost every Cabin in the Wood type film doesn't have a happy ending.
Dude, Cabin in the Wood, the movie itself,
the actual movie,
not a happy ending.
Not a very happy ending.
Not a happy ending.
I didn't expect it to end quite the way it did.
No, it did, but that's actually an homage to what's called Lovecraft too. Did you know that Cabin in the Woods was an homage to Lovecraft?
Yeah.
It had to be,
because they were talking about. If nobody knows who Lovecraft is, he had the whole thing about Cthulhu, all these different godlike
ancient gods,
ancient gods.
So,
Cthulhu's one,
and Cabin in the Woods, that company was basically, controlled by ancient gods.
One of the ancient gods. Well, I think it was one of them, because I don't know if they did all of them.
Yeah.
Or did they do all of them? Because they were doing every culture. Remember they had the Japanese people,
Yeah. No, I think it's just a variation on the whole idea, and that all these creatures and horrors that they were using.
And they threw homage to all the different horror.
Oh yeah, there's zombies, there's werewolves, there's vampires, there's demons.
I like the homage to Hellraiser.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, there's Cenobites in here.
Cenobites. That's right.
Gee whiz.
Cool.
Remember when you told me about they were called Cenobites?
Yeah.
Remember I told you when he first told me that's what they were called. I totally forgot they were called Cenobites. But he's like, yeah, don't you remember Cenobites? And I'm like, isn't that the thing you get from
Common Center? They have
a Cinnabon.
You can smell them all over the whole place there.
So you're telling me hell is filled with Cinnabons?
Right.
That torture you with chains and hooks.
And little mini Cinnabons.
Little mini Cinnabons. It's like your
Cinnabits.
We give you pain,
we're gonna
pleasure,
give you
and cinnamon.
So I mentioned last time I saw you the movie It Follows. Did you ever have a chance to?
I haven't got a chance to.
That is like they take the basic story of teenagers, and they dumb it down to the point where if you have sex, something is.
Wait, did you just say if? Dan?
If you have sex. Something's going to follow you and get you unless you pass it on by having sex with someone else. So it's beyond the evil teenager smoking pot. And, it's just right down to the sex thing. And it's
right down. It just gets down and dirty.
Yeah.
I guess that's why when I saw the trailer, it's like, how come the logo for the title is a little bit like Friday the 13th?
Yeah. Sure. It's Halloween.
Yeah. I was like,
very much.
What?
It's like takes that whole story and just sifts it down to the basic. If something's following, you got to pass it on and have sex. The whole guilt thing about having sex. It's all built in there.
It's like an STD that you can't get rid of.
Right. It's like, man, I've got this thing that keeps following me.
As if STDs aren't bad enough.
I would, if I had that, I would just bone the most ugliest chick ever. So I don't like you. Come here, let's have sex.
Well, that's kind of what happens. That kind of happens in the movie at one point.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, I got to pass it on. Find somebody, find a hooker or something.
Find a hooker.
Yeah,
quick.
Somebody
that's worthless, that's going to die.
Yeah, go follow that person, please.
I'll pay you $100.
Whatever follows could look like somebody you know. So you see, ever so often, you see somebody walking way in the distance, coming closer and closer. And everybody's blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and you see this person coming closer and closer, and sometimes it's just a person walking by, But after a while, you get kind of hey, look out! There's somebody coming. You don't know who that is.
Some major paranoia.
Get ready.
It's a play on the paranoia of of the mind and everything.
Yeah.
We gotta get a hold of this movie.
Yeah, It Follows. We need to follow it.
Anybody got bootleg out there?
Bootleg? No, I think it's on DVD.
Yeah, I got it from Netflix on DVD. DVD. Yeah.
Netflix.
But not on. It's not streaming yet.
Oh, not yet.
Yeah.
It should be though.
Well, as soon as it streams, I'm watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm a streamer.
Yeah.
So
That sounded so wrong.
It's
sir.
your basic horror story, really. It's a basic.
we're
about 20.
we're about
20 seconds away from ending this whole horrible experience. No, I'm just kidding. But I would like to personally thank Bill Best,
Uncle Bill,
Uncle
Billy
for coming in and sitting in with us on
you.
our show here on Friday Night Frights. You can listen to Uncle Bill every day.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Manao, midday 10 to 2, and then here on KAKU 88.5 every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 11 until noon.
Cool.
Awesome.
So keep it locked right here to KAKU 88.5. Your voice of Maui. I am Killer Cal.
I'm Tony Midnight.
We always do this. Peace.
Shut up.